The Academy of Global Studies is one of the two initiatives that we have that is pocketed or isolated, right? That means that it's divisionally centered and in some cases limited to the number of kids that have access to it. The remainder of the initiatives I'm going to talk about today are cross-divisional in scope. Remember what I've referred to as cohesive and embedded across the school, right? And that's one of the elements or factors that I think differentiate some of the things that we're doing in our programs. The Academy, I told you last year that I thought we'd have 20 to 30 freshmen in our seminar class, our first rollout. We had accepted 8th graders into the ninth grade, into the Academy. They have gone through the first seminar class here as of trimester 2. The second group of kids, basically half of the 35 that I've mentioned up there, are starting in the seminar class for this third trimester. We've just had the 8th grade students presently enroll as effectively the second class of the Academy of Global Studies. In this trimester class, what they've done with Jason Warren, the instructor, is really get a broad canvas of the global issues that are surrounding us today. You're probably getting all these viral hits now from Uganda and Kenya and all this stuff that is happening. I've had kids flooding me today wanting to speak in chapel. But in a microcosm, what's been happening in Jason's class is really looking at what are the global issues that are out there, right? I mean, whether it's global pandemics, whether it's the debt crisis in Greece, whether it's nuclear power issues, water issues. They explored a broad range of them. And by the end of the trimester, Troy's up there doing his presentation when I stepped into class a few weeks ago. The kids began to hone in on an issue of interest to them, right? So Troy, for example, is done a lot of church mission work in Africa. So for him, he's looking at AIDS in Africa as a global issue that's of issue to him. Byron McKenzie's really into energy, and so he's been looking at nuclear energy as a global issue, especially in wake of the Japan tsunami, right? He sort of settled in that space. So the kids have really moved into pitch and turf that is their own. And again, as you look at what we talk about when we mean innovation at Parish, we want kids to have customized experiences, more tailored experiences that drive toward their points of passion. So that's why the Academy works for us in that principle of innovation, right? And they've got that access point now to something that they're really excited about. And what they had done now after they pitched their presentation to the adults here at the end of the trimester is said, this is an issue that over the next 3 years at Parish in the Academy, I want to study in some more depth, okay? So also in the course of the last year, we've begun to define and outline the programmatic components of the Academy. And I'll send around a few of these. I think I've got enough for our audience today. And folks that either have been to sessions or know what's going on can push and share, push them around and share. But the components are listed on this sheet, and I'll talk briefly to them. As kids enter into the sophomore year, they will have in the upper school an advisory group, a small group of faculty members who will work specifically with them because those faculty members have touch points or connections to that particular issue. They'll come back here, for example, as you see on the sheet after sophomore year, having done some summer reading on their issue, done a little bit of writing, and then next year as they work with their capstone committee, they'll begin to move toward a bibliography, an annotated bibliography, and a thesis statement that will begin to put some structure to their point of study. Their junior year, they'll do some more summer work, come back with a written paper, and then have what's called the link project, which will really allow a student that's studying a particular issue to go into one of their core classes, extract something they're studying there, and link it to their global topic of interest, right? So they won't take distinct courses in the Academy, but they will do some connection between what their issue is and what they're studying, right? So a student might use their math class to look at data generation for some research they're doing on global epidemic, if that's the area that they're choosing, right? And they'll work with their math teacher to really help them interpret and analyze data. So we'll see that kind of linkage. All this is pressing toward the senior year. They'll take another seminar course. That seminar course will really be designed to help them create their capstone project. So for those of you that have been through graduate studies, you can equate the capstone project to your master's thesis, right? Where we'll differentiate that is that when they present their capstone project at the end of their senior year, they'll do so in a form that will not be traditionally scripted. In other words, they'll write a paper. That'll be a part and parcel. But their public presentation of knowledge or demonstration of knowledge will really be allowed to, again, focus into their creative area of passion. So for a student that wants to, write music lyrics or write poetry to demonstrate what they've come to understand or comprehend about their issue, they can do that. For one that'd rather deliver a more standard or traditional PowerPoint presentation, they can do that as well, right? One who wants to stage a public awareness campaign as part of their capstone project, they could do that as well, right? So again, you see here the themes of leadership intertwined here. This is an innovative approach to how to work through this particular type of program, and the preparation outcomes, which I'm about to talk about, kids that are thinking critically, creating, collaborating, communicating, are all interwoven into the academy. There's a selection process. Right now it's an essay, teacher recommendations out of 8th grade, committee that actually reviews the essays. We had a broader berth in the first class. We wanted to see how many kids would take it. We really weren't sure. We wanted to get it moving, and I think what you'll see over time is that the selection process will become a little more intense and competitive. But we're looking at 2 sections per year, which is no more than 40. So we think this year we'll be right about in that ballpark. And we do leave some space in that for new 9th graders who are applying. So we take however many 8th graders we can, but then we're also leaving some space for incoming 9th graders who are interested.